Hi everyone. So I feel called to talk about what's going on right now. I want to speak from the heart and try to make it quick as possible. If it's not quick, sorry. I posted a status basically saying once your inner world changes, then your outside world will change. So let me just elaborate on this. The outside world, everything that's going on in your outside world is a reflection of what's going on the inside. So I'm gonna speak my truth and try to relate this back to me as an example so you guys can understand. So I'm Puerto Rican and I've taken a DNA test before and I have both white in me. I also have black in me. European, Russian, whatever, African, Haitian, Caribbean, actually my DNA test was like everything. It was almost everything except for like 2 races, which was like Scandinavian and German, I believe, or Dutch. So I'm gonna speak my truth about this. And I just ask you guys to have an open heart and open mind. Now, when I've seen racism in the world, in the outer world, I had to take a step back once I started learning about how my outer world is a reflection of my inner world. And this is how we heal our own selves. We have to ask ourselves these questions, even though it may seem annoying at times or too painful at times. I had to ask myself, what is this a reflection of? And why am I experiencing this? Or why am I seeing this person getting shot and killed? Why am I seeing this? So I had to ask myself this, and the answer that I got, I meditated on it. When you meditate, you get answers, guys. I'm telling you, meditation works. Just freaking do it. So the answer that I got back was, is there racism within you that you don't want to admit? And I'm like, oh, me? No, I'm not racist. What we have to understand is that we hold DNA from our mom, our dads, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, and like further down the line. People that we've never even heard of, our ancestors. So I had to ask myself, am I racist? I had to ask myself, why is this triggering me? Why is this everything happening on the outside? Why is it triggering me? And I had I literally have my white side with me and I have my black side. So I'm like, whatever answers I get, just accept them for what they are and don't fight back. So the answer I got was, you have racism in you. And instead of being like, no, I don't, I'm resisting it. The more you resist something, it keeps persisting. It keeps trying to tell you, and it's like, just accept what I'm telling you, just accept it. It's okay, just accept it. And I'm like, okay, fine, I accept it. I have racism in me, fine. How? How do I have racism in me? Instead of just fighting back, I accepted, okay, so what is the racism in me and how can I change it? How can I fix it? My ancestors were literally talking to me. Like, these are the things that you can do when you meditate, guys. You can literally hear your ancestors. Turn off your TV for a second, turn off your phone, and go meditate. The more you do this, the more in touch you are with your intuition. You can hear your soul, literally hear. You can hear the voices in your head, and they're just not random thoughts. They're literally your ancestors talking to you, trying to guide you. And the more you just accept it and let it be and show love to those thoughts, the more you'll understand them. And the more you can maneuver a positive way, like a positive direction into your life. So the black part of me was very understanding of my racism. It wasn't mad at the racist within me. It was like, okay, you're just ignorant. So let us try to And let us try to help you so that you can, since you're accepting our truth, let me try to help you now. And through that meditation that I did of like healing the racist within me, I started to get flashbacks of all the times in my life when I was racist and I didn't even know I was being racist. You can argue, maybe she wasn't being racist, she was just ignorant. But this is why we have to inform ourselves and accept people's truth too. Just accept it, because that the universe comes at you in different ways, and people in your life are a part of the universe. The universe is trying to tell you things through these people. And the more you resist it, the more you fight it, the more you're going to just continue a mental war with yourself. It's going to continue to piss you off and bring emotions out of you, because it's trying to tell you something, it's trying to help you, and you keep resisting it, you keep fighting back. So I realized like all the times in my life where I was like kind of racist. Like the times that I went to the grocery store, and if I saw a black guy who was like big and like kind of, and maybe it's a woman thing too, I'm sure it is, but you know, that's another freaking topic that we got to heal, is our like feminine energy and our feminine body. But it was always particular to like black men. I would always be afraid of like talking to me or seeing me, because it just so happened to be that black men tend to be attracted to me. And every time I had an encounter with a random black person that wanted to hit on me, they would hit on me in a way that I didn't like. But I didn't have to like judge them or anything. I could just been like, okay, like, hey, just take it as flattery. Like, just take it as, hey, they think that you're really hot, and that's it. But you know, that's just an example of like a time of like where I was like kind of like racist, where I was but it was like fear. Like racism comes from a place of fear. And I kept attracting these kind of men, like random men in my life. Like when I would like go to stores or go just out in public, I would always attract the like black men, but it's like the universe was trying to tell me something within them. Like, oh, what's wrong? You don't like the way I hit on you? Like, what's the problem? Like, why is it a problem? Like, how come it's not a problem when a white guy hits on you? So once I like healed that racist within me, like they stopped hitting on me. It's weird, but they stopped hollering my name. Sometimes I'll get it here and there, but I'm not like, ugh. Like, I'm just more of like, thanks. Like, why shouldn't I? It doesn't matter if they're not hitting on me the way I would want them to hit on me. They're hitting on me, period. So if they're not being totally disrespectful, then why not just accept it? Why not accept it as flattery? But I realized it was like that fear of like black men, or that fear is, first off, has been instilled in us. It has been instilled from our ancestors, our social conditioning, our cultural conditioning. And once I healed that, my entire mindset changed. I don't like look down anymore when I go to the store, or look down when a black person comes by me. I look at them, I acknowledge them, and I smile at them. And I am just like, hi, because I'm not afraid of them anymore. It's not like me that was ever afraid. It was just like my ego. It was the fear in me that was afraid. But that's not who I really am. I'm accepting of everyone. This is a hard truth that we all have to like go through. This is what I mean by when you change your internal world, your external world changes and your reaction changes. 2020 is the year. Racism ends in 2020. We are going to see a new world. I truly feel it in my heart and I believe it. So with that being said, just know when to protest, know when to stand up for what's right, but also know when to breathe, chill, know when your emotions are causing a mental war with you. And just know when Just know when to go inward, guys. You know, there's a place to stand up for what's right in the external world, but I healed the racist within me. I also healed a lot of all the ancestors that are within me. I've healed a lot of I'm sure there's more, but because I feel like there's more, but there's a lot that I've healed by just looking inward. If we keep pointing the finger at somebody else, which I know it's prevalent, like they've done it to us, whatever, but we can't be victims anymore. And we allow ourselves to be victims because we attract certain things in the world. So if you go inward and you ask yourself these questions, you ask yourself, why do I feel emotional about this? It's okay, you'll get the answer. Well, because of this. Okay, that's fine. Just breathe it out. Kind of try to breathe out all the belief systems so that you're clear. It's about knowing who you really are, because we are so much more than these bodies, guys. So much more. If you go inward, meditate, you can break these layers. When you meditate and you change your perspective, you will attract a different world. You will attract a more positive world. And when you do this, we are so connected that when you do this, the people around you start to change, because you start to naturally lead by example. And then people want to meditate. People want to do the things that you're doing. People want to, change their belief systems, because you don't even have to say anything about it. It's just, we're so connected. Our minds, our body, our souls are so connected. Our consciousness is so connected that we just automatically start doing it without even saying anything, without trying to have to preach it and teach it to people. People will just see you, and they might not absorb it all in at right then and there what you're doing, but trust, later on, there's going to be people doing it because you made the change in your life. Work through your triggers. Work through your emotions. When you are in a reactive mentality, just sit still for a second. Breathe. Just breathe for a second so that you know exactly how to act in a strategic, smart way, because this is a powerful weapon. Your mind is powerful, and when it's used right, you act very strategic and you act very, just what's right, instead of from an emotional state. Breathe through those emotions, because it's not just you that have been through things. It's the people around you that you've absorbed. It's their experiences, and it's your ancestors' experience that you've absorbed. And you don't have to have your ancestors live through you. They're living through you right now because you are supposed to free them. They want to be free. And by healing their belief systems and healing your own self, you automatically free them. Know when to bite your tongue. Breathe through those emotions of needing to say something. When you're coming from an emotional view and from an emotional place, sometimes you don't say the exact thing that you want to say. Because if you breathe through those emotions, you'll be able to say things in a way that people will understand. I love you all, and I send so much love and light to every single one of you. People of color, Black people, I stand with you, and I love you, and I appreciate all the lessons that you've taught me in this lifetime. You've taught me so much about my own self, and I appreciate you.